and I'm delighted to welcome you for this evening's meeting of the district trainer leaders of the several clubs of the district 7030. This meeting was to be led by Tanya, who unfortunately cannot be with us tonight, so we will do our best to fill in for her, and me with my bad English and all the team fortunately with me to help me for this meeting. I would like to welcome the past governors who are with us this evening, and especially our governor, DG Soraya Warner-Gustav, to whom I will now give the floor so that she can tell us about the purpose of this meeting. So welcome, Soraya, and I let you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, PAG Jean-Marc. I appreciate the introduction. And good evening, everyone. I'm extremely excited to be here this evening. Tonight's session is all about club learning, and more specifically, about embracing that culture of learning within our club environments. And I want to start off by thanking our District Learning Facilitator team, led by District Learning Facilitator Tanya, for arranging this inaugural session. As you know, Rotary encourages us to become the best equipped team of volunteers, because at the heart of Rotary's service and enduring impact is that culture of learning, and it fosters both personal and organizational growth. And within this culture, the role of club learning facilitator is emerging as that super important cornerstone. And we want to ensure that you understand the significance and overall importance to member development. So if you are here and in the role, you already have a passion for Rotary learning and for wanting to share that knowledge. If you are here, then you already have a pretty good idea about the role itself and its responsibilities. But let's explore that for a second. As a club learning facilitator, we expect that you are someone who champions learning, champions collaboration, and leadership development among your members. You are a catalyst, a steward of best practices, and an architect of a culture that values continuous improvement. We see you as providing tremendous support to your club president and assisting with fostering engagement, inclusion, and bridging that gap between Rotary International, that is, and the district's goals, and the club's day-to-day learning, ensuring alignment with broader Rotary initiatives. Now, if you did not see your role as an important one before, we are here to tell you that you are a critical cog in the Rotary wheel, and your impact on the development of a Rotary district could not be overstated. So we see your efforts rippling through every layer of the organization, transforming members into empowered leaders and clubs into even more vibrant communities of service. Because we believe that when clubs prioritize learning, districts flourish, demonstrating the power of knowledge to unite, to inspire, and drive that lasting change. I want to thank you again for taking on this super important role in your clubs. And I look forward to hearing from you during this session, and more importantly, to hearing in due course of the learning support that you have provided to your club members during this Rotary year. I thank you for the opportunity, and I hand over to the moderator, to PAG Jean-Marc, to continue with the program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, DG Soraya, for this introduction. And I hope, and I'm sure every learning facilitator in every club understands perfectly the role and how important it is to organize and to plan the training in the several clubs during the whole year. Just a word to explain what is the role of our district learning committee. We are here to help you in the several clubs to organize trainings, to organize learning operations, and to promote also the district learning, the Rotary Learning Center, who is really the principal mean to be really trained and to learn a lot about Rotary during the whole year. We are here also to organize during the whole year several Zoom meetings, which will be organized regularly to help you to have subjects and to have teams and subjects to see together with your members in the several clubs. And we are here also to define the responsibilities and impact of a club learning facilitator in the several clubs. And we will present to you also after the district learning challenge we wanted to organize to help you in the several aspects of the learning questions in your several clubs. But first, what we want to hear to this evening is what you expect for to be efficient for a job of learning in your clubs, and that's why we will organize breakout rooms where we will speak together with you of several aspects. What learning needs or challenges are you seeing in your clubs? What learning activities have worked well or not worked in the past in your clubs, and what resources of support would help you be successful as club learning facilitators. These are the three questions we want to speak about with you through several breakout rooms. So I propose to you to go in the several breakout rooms. It will be severed automatically by the system, I think so. And so you will be able to speak with a member of the district learning committee about these three questions. So normally we will go in the several group and see us after to summarize. So please, in each group, design somebody to do the summarize of what was said after the group. So it will last 15 minutes and we come back after.
Okay, yes, so welcome back to everyone to this main group. We hope that you had a very fruitful discussion and conversation among yourselves. So what we're going to do is to give each group, starting from one, a few minutes to report on your discussions and your recommendation for these three questions. Try to do it as concise as possible. So let me start with Simone, that she was in my group, on group one. Simone?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Simone Allen from the Rotary Club of Kingstown, representing Group 1. So just to dive right into it, some of the needs and challenges, the challenges that we've been having, some clubs have never had a learning plan, and there are members who have enrolled in courses but have not completed them, and they're not utilizing the learning center, so they just go enroll and then never return to it. A club mentioned that they have a lack of corporate governance and persons don't really understand that there are formal requirements for the club. So that's something that would need to be worked on as well. In terms of activities that have worked well and have not, some clubs don't have formal learning facilitators. So what they would do is have virtual fireside meetings with the prospectives to help get them onboarded so that they're not repeating the same content with their actual members versus the newly pinned members. And they are now working towards making that position an official position. There are asking the chairs of committees to do specific courses helps as well. Not really claiming them to be mandatory, but still pushing it as explaining that it would be helpful towards their role, members of the committee as well. And something that other clubs have done, they went based on the monthly themes. So they would identify someone from their club to do research and do a presentation on those monthly themes. So that's another avenue for learning as well as using competitions and to incite members to participate in the learning sessions and use the learning center courses doing Rotary trivia, and these things could even contribute to like Rotarian of the Quarter or Rotaractor of the Quarter if you host that in your club. And some persons do not like to participate in virtual sessions, so there's a club that created a schedule specifically for training needs, and so that's based on their club's culture. And a suggestion was also made to have persons or the members of your club bring their laptops to a meeting, and you designate that meeting as a learning center meeting, and everyone goes through the course together, and you could have like an open discussion during your meeting, and that way the course is completed for yourself as well as everyone else in the meeting. In terms of resources to support, just advice on how we can push persons to utilize the Learning Center, demonstrating the Learning Center interface as well, as a lot of persons aren't technologically savvy, and offering support in pulling the persons who have completed courses through the AG and the secretary, and that way we could follow up with rewards and recognitions for performance. And that's it from Group 1.
Okay,
Good.
thank you very much, Group 1. Group 2? Yeah, who's from Group 2?
Diane, Dina, who's leading your group? You were Group 2.
Simon, you can go ahead. This is Group 3.
Okay. What learning needs and challenges? Sorry, Simon Matthews. I'm club president for Kourou in French Guiana, and also learning facilitator for this year. So the first question: what learning needs and challenges are we seeing from our group? There's not an issue, but there's a feeling that there's an awful lot of information available, which can lead to confusion, misunderstanding. There's also the issue of not every member is maybe fully motivated to connect and learn. So we need to look at how we can get members to connect on a more autonomous basis. The idea of club learning days was floated, as particularly for young clubs. Maureen from Suriname mentioned this. As a young club, it's very interesting to get members on board to understand what the Rotary is all about. I can share a point that from another member mentioned was not everyone does log on, so it's interesting to maybe use topics to concentrate efforts. For the second question, what's going on now? We need to encourage members, need stimulation. There was the mention of using prizes to get people implicated and involved to take part. Also, the idea of one-to-one, one-on-one sessions to accelerate learning. And also the notion of fellowships, interaction, exchanging ideas, and learn from each other. And the third question, what resources and support would be useful to help and support as a CLF? Exchange ideas, more sessions like this one in particular, which could be very useful. Invite and benefit from guest speakers who can contribute knowledge. And there's also the question around a database of experts that we could consult. If there's subject matter experts that can be questioned and consulted on this subject. That's all from this group. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Simon. Simon, you were Group 3, right, or 2?
I think it was 2 in it.
3.
3. Okay. Sorry. Can we revert to Group 2 back to Group 2? If not,
I guess we have to assume that 3 is 2 and 2 is 3. So
okay,
Denise.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Denise Armstrong.
Denise. Okay.
Yes, from Rotary Club of Antigua and learning facilitator for this year. In our group, we discussed that governance issues are a matter of concern for our clubs, and we'd like to do some training in that area. Constitution, bylaws. Onboarding is also an issue of new members, also an issue. Training them on how to use the tools at their disposal. Self-learning is the way to go, because we do know we have the Learning Center that is quite comprehensive, but facilitators could assist them in learning how to access the Learning Center and to give tasks for the club to do as a whole, and some fun things to do to help them, like maybe a scavenger hunt, or to help them all to do the course one time together. Those are some of the areas that we looked at. In terms of actions in our club that worked, informal settings in a relaxed atmosphere with discussions about Rotary, not only about the main object of service above self, but also to help with networking, both for Rotary and for self, and to make contacts and new friends in Rotary. Of course, the Rotary itself will need that kind of contact to, to continue to carry out its programs. In terms of resources from the district, we discussed that some smaller clubs would not have a training facilitator. So maybe the district could assist in allowing the smaller clubs to join some of this fireside chat, sessions that are taking place, especially for new members. And so they can have the informal training sessions, they can be involved in that. I think these are some of the things that we discussed.
Okay, thank you, Past President Denise. Do we have a fourth group?
Yes, we have.
Yes, please, group 4.
1 second. Good evening, everybody. My name is Lies. We had in our group Karen, who would be the speaker with all our notes, but unfortunately her sound did not came out very well. So we decided that I will try to do as short as possible what came out of our session. I think most of it's what I heard to all have a little bit the same ideas and challenges. For the needs and challenges, we thought also about the technical part, like the AI, how that we already know a little bit. We got one time a training, but how we can implement it more, special for meeting notes, Zoom notes, how to use it and make more use of it. Another aspect what came out in our meeting was also that most clubs that we had in our meeting were using Club Runner, paying for it, but maybe using 5% of it. So they also would like to get into that again. For the activities that have worked well and not worked in the past, very honest, in the sessions I was in with the team, the clubs, most clubs had to admit that the last years, not many was done with it. Maybe some individuals were doing something in the learning center, but if it's not coming back in the clubs and not talked about and not discussed, it's just something you do and tick it off, and it doesn't sink in, it doesn't work. And I think that's a good task also for the club learning facilitator, to get the club together and get those trainings more indeed together. I also asked my team if any of them already did in the Rotary Learning Center the course of the club learning facilitator. At least one did it. I did it myself too. It's 15 minutes, but gives you some highlights, what's important and how you can help indeed training people in your clubs. The resources and support, what would help. What we also concluded that not every club learning facilitator is a trainer, is a teacher. So maybe some extra trainings for the club facilitator trainers to help them to get there where they want to be, and what the district thinks what the goals would be for the club facilitator trainers. I know we have still something on the program today, so I also know that we'll come to the good conclusions later on in this training. That was it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Past Assistant Governor Leslie.
I'm still an AG. Sorry, Dara.
Still AG. I thought you'd given that up.
AG club facilitator.
I thought you had given that up. Anyway, we do not have a fifth group, right? So that's it.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much, all of you. Excellent job. I won't be long in wrapping up, but I think what I've pulled out is that this is a new paradigm for a number of clubs in terms of the learning facilitators. So that just needs some lot of impetus there. And I think two other things is that we need to get involved with our members to go on the learning, Rotary Learning Center. And I'm saying that maybe something that we, the District Learning Committee, can have a program so we assist the facilitators to do that, so they can help their club to do that. So these are the main points that come out. But I think a lot of enthusiasm is there, and I trust that as we continue learning, that we will all become more involved in understanding what Rotary is all about, so we can, participate as fully as we can. So thank you very much, and I'll take it back on to Jean-Marc to continue this session this evening.
Thank you, Errol. Thank you all for your participation. And I will give back the micro to AG Liz, because she will speak about the District Learning Challenge.
No, it was Dina.
It was Dina. Sorry. It was not written.
Thank
So
you. Thank you,
Dina
Shama.
now speak about the challenge.
Yeah.
Yes.
So good evening, everyone. And I'll quickly take you through the challenge structure, the point system, and some of the quarterly deadlines. I'll also tell you how your club can earn recognition, that is platinum, gold, etc. And then I'll do some highlights at the end. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so everyone seeing my screen?
Yes.
So, right,
Yes,
great.
yes.
So this is the monthly mission and the bonus adventures. So you have the opportunity to go through to achieve these goals. And then you have other activities for each month where you can acquire bonus points. So for this month, July, the launch of the learning year, your club would have appointed a club learning facilitator. So that's why you're here. And you are required to do the club learning facilitator essentials on the learning center. And you are supposed to join the WhatsApp group. And as bonus points this month, you're supposed to do the orientation, to attend this meeting. So some of you who are here will get that bonus point, and that your treasurer completes the club treasure essential on Learning Center. So that's pretty easy. Some of you have already gotten those points. So in August, which starts tomorrow, you are expected to finish the club learning survey, and that will be sent to you. I'm not sure if it is, we can place it on the chat as yet, but you will certainly get it. And this month is also membership month, so that your club membership committee is supposed to go on the Learning Center and do that course. And as a bonus point, your club members attending the membership learning event, and you will hear more about the membership learning event, which is scheduled for this month. In September, you will be designing your learning map. So the club learning facilitator drafts, you will submit that, your club learning plan, including a new member orientation, leadership development, and district events. And as the bonus, your club will host a learning talk that is a guest speaker, or someone from your own club who may be able to share on any topic. All right. Also, the club learning facilitator recruits 5 persons or more, non-board members, that is, to complete any Rotary learning course. All right, so you're supposed to encourage your members who are not board members to do the courses on the Rotary Learning Center. And this is for December. Public image chair, the public image chair is supposed to complete that course also on the Learning Center. And as bonus points, that public image chair has to share a 1 to 2 minute video of a learning highlight. And of course, the option includes your social media pages, your District 7030 newsletter, your club newsletter, or the RI newsletter. The club learning facilitator also will share that with the WhatsApp group, and you will also email it to the district learning the chair of the district learning facilitator. And that is due December 31st, okay? November, so all of these will be due every quarter. So in November, it's foundation month, all right? And so your foundation committee is supposed to do that learning plan on the learning center. And of the bonus point will be sharing a learning success story with the district, such as a literacy or a learning project at a school or a vulnerable youth empowering futures project. In December, reflect to recharge. The public image share will share the top 3 learnings in your club of 2025. All right, and the options include the club social media pages, the District 7030 newsletter, etc. So the club learning facilitator will share all that information on the WhatsApp group, and of course, email everything to the chair. As your bonus point, 15-minute for DI holiday challenge. So 5 of your non-board members will complete the 15-minute video course on the Rotary Learning Center. And all the October, November, and December will be due in December. So we go on to the new year, January 2026. New year, new ideas. So your club admin will collaborate with another club for a joint DEI or a mental health learning event, collaborating with their DEI or their mental champions on the topics. And the president-elect, because by now your elections would have taken place. So, and some of you would already know your president-elect will complete the President Essentials 1 on the Learning Center. And as a bonus point, your club will host a peer learning roundtable or panel on selected DI or mental health topic. In February, Peace Month, Peace in Action, Club Learning Facilitator will recruit 3 members to complete the Rotary Positive Peace Academy. And that site, www.positivepeace.academy is where you will find it. You will share a Rotary Positive Peace Academy reflection on social media. And your bonus point will be your club includes sustainability topics at a club meeting. So this could be on the environment, whichever one of the sustainable goals. In March, you're checking your compass. So your club learning facilitator will complete a 3/4 year review of your learning plan. The president-elect will complete his or her President Essential Part 2. And your secretary-elect will complete the Secretary Essentials. And of course, your bonus will be your club will celebrate the progress and share insights in a district forum. That forum is yet to be decided. The April and May, those 2 months will be due in May. And April Learning Leaders Unite. So your president-elect and secretary-elect are expected to attend PELS in St. Lucia. And as a bonus, your club is represented by at least 1 additional person at PELS in St. Lucia. In May, passing on the baton, Club Board appoints a club learning facilitator for the next Rotary year, 2026 to 27. And the club learning facilitator develops a handover or a continuity plan. And as a bonus, your club will host a club learning awards ceremony, and a youth leader, maybe Rotaract or Interact, will co-present at a club meeting, a club event, or a club meeting. Okay, so just to let you know about the platinum learning and so on, there are several tiers. So in order to get a platinum learning club award, you have to do 12 and more missions and 5 or more bonuses, including completion of the July-September missions and completion of your public image foundation and membership chair learning plans on the Rotary Learning Center. To achieve the goal, you have to do 9 to 11 of the missions, plus 4 or more bonuses, including completion of the July to September missions and completion of your PI, your foundation and membership chair learning plans on the Rotary Learning Center. And to achieve silver, you have to do achieve 6 to 8 missions and 3 or more bonuses, and bronze 4 to 5 missions and 2 or more bonuses. So you notice that to get the platinum and the gold, you must do from July to September. Okay. So I just want to highlight the July activities, okay, so you are here because you are appointed, that your club, that you complete the facilitator essentials on the Learning Center, and that you have joined the WhatsApp group, and that your club learning facilitator will, you are here attending the orientation meeting, and that your treasurer will complete that learning treasure essential by September. Okay, September is the deadline. I think that's it. That's it for me. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Dina. Yes, we are. It's already 53. I would like to emphasize this challenge should not be a constraint, but rather a source of ideas to support regular training activities in your club, and treat it as a fun challenge rather than an obligation. It's a way to you to have really a learning activity in your club. You see, for each point you have 3 months, in fact, to explain and to answer the several points. And I see there is a question from Charles, but we'll perhaps first of all hear Liz, AJ Liz Cox, if about what makes an active learning club. I'll let you perhaps present it in 5 minutes.
I know, right? I'm thinking that I'm listening and everything chipping away, but I think Charles had his hand up. Charles, you had a question?
Well, there's the session for questions.
I think there was also one in the chat, the same question. So maybe we could refer to that one later.
All right, okay. And I thought it was a burning issue that you've had. All right, so I will just very briefly just discuss some points. A lot of the points were already mentioned in terms of what you do, but this is a little bit more in a structured way. I've, along with the learning committee, we've developed a framework which will be emailed to you, so you can have a synopsis of what I will quickly run through this evening. So let me just share my slides. And he said 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes. All right. All right. So, I mean, I had a question before, but I know that we have some time constraints here. All right. So why active learning is necessary? Why does it matter in a club? One of the things that I think a lot of clubs have been missing over the last couple of years is succession planning. And so this, the learning facilitator, along with our district support, will certainly help to build leadership capacity within your club so that you can plan 3 years down the line who's taking over as president. Because there are a lot of times when persons want to take up roles, but they're unsure of what these roles entail. And this is where the Rotary Learning Center comes in, because you can learn a lot more about a position that you might aspire to within a reasonable time of you taking up a leadership role. So succession planning is very important in your club. And I think an active learning club will push persons for the club to actually build capacity. It also engages members. And, you know, we often say when people come or to join the club, Rotarians, is like, what do you bring to the club? But a club must have a value proposition, what it is that you have as a club that you can share with members. And one of the things that was mentioned before is networking. It's also assist you with building leadership capabilities as well. We continue to grow even though we may be a lead in our particular area, but the value proposition is what the club has to offer and what Rotary has to offer an individual. We must always look at what is our value proposition, what it is that we're offering our members, other than them bringing their talent, treasures, and their time to the club as well. It strengthens the impact of our projects because we can now develop several champions in your club. You might have a service project director, but I think using project champions help to strengthen the impact because the burden on the service project director will be reduced tremendously. And of course, aligning with Rotary's mission of service and growth, we can track our priority areas easily once persons are fully equipped with the knowledge to do what is expected of them in terms of the priority areas for Rotary International. All right, leadership development, well, I mentioned that. We need to also utilize the strengths of our club. And I think residing in a lot of clubs, we do have seasoned Rotarians, we have new Rotarians, and it's this generational gap. But through mentorship programs, you can actually reduce that gap or eliminate it completely. We have to recognize we do have a generational gap in clubs, and we can narrow that gap because the older members has a lot of experience that they can share. The newer members bring the software, the technology, and that kind of, that can reduce the generational gap tremendously. And it also helps to guide the leadership transitions so that someone who's taking over from another person can actually be schooled a year before in that position as well. Leadership workshops, again, is another area that we can offer members. And the key question is, are we really nurturing future leaders? And that is what it will help us with our succession planning. Knowledge sharing, guest speaker series. It is not just about bringing people in, but also utilizing the talent within your club itself. Rotary Learning Center has now have a mobile app, and it is a learning app. It is not the My Rotary app, but it is in fact an app that I think can be useful, especially with the younger generation as well. So we need to tap into that, and you can learn as you move as well. And the key question is, are we learning from each other? And that is sharing the talent that you have within your club. I know we always look outside for guest speakers, but I think in our clubs reside talent that we can actually share within our clubs. It can help with project planning, rotating project leads. Again, I mentioned the project champions as well. The impact in terms of the evaluating and sharing the key learnings from a project. And this is where project-based learning comes in as well, because I think we perhaps have successful projects, but then we don't keep a document of how successful this project was and what are the key learnings, what can we do better the next time? And are we learning through service? Key question. Quickly, inclusive engagement, intergenerational dialogue, can reduce that gap, diverse learning formats. We talked a bit about that when you had your group sessions, where individuals, the fireside chat is much more relaxing and open for learning as well. Recognition programs, leaderboards. So if you have a task for persons to go into the learning center, or perhaps you have a quiz on a topic in the learning center, you can actually develop leaderboards. Even adults like competition, and I think everybody wants to be ahead on the leaderboard itself. Are all our voices being heard in a club? That helps as well, because there are times when perhaps a member may suggest something, and I think what the young people are looking for is to have a seat at that table, to be able to make a suggestion, for part of that suggestion to be implemented and for them to be recognized. And so it's to listen to all of the persons who are in fact contributing to something that can build capacity in your club, I think is very important. Technology, I think we mentioned it briefly, and I know that lots of us is on ChatGPT, but Microsoft 360 Copilot can help you to summarize a whole lot of documents. Of course, Zoom has the AI feature where you can actually have a meeting and you can actually get all your notes. Zoom was difficult before, but I think now it's a lot. It recognizes our voices a lot more, and you get a lot more accuracy from notes from Zoom because they analyze everything and they have the next steps and everything, who said what, and decisions that are actually made. A good summary. Hybrid learning platforms, that is, persons who can't make it in person. In person, of course, is always the best effect. That's just what I feel. But doing a hybrid session also helps to bring in those persons who perhaps can't attend a session in person. A digital learning repository. I'm always happy and excited when any club or company can have that repository where persons can actually access at their own time, just like how we have the Rotary Learning Center. So it makes it, once it's accessible, persons can go in it in their own time and, get information, perhaps anything that you've done, perhaps on leadership, you have a document, it can be placed in that repository and accessed easily. And of course, we need to leverage these digital tools. And this is where the younger generation comes in, even the older persons, because me, myself, I'm an older person, but I think I utilize the Copilot, I utilize the AI thing in terms of the Zoom, and it helps me tremendously. It reduces my timeline to get things done. All right, so feedback is important, and I think you always need to be doing surveys, whether it's the start of the year, mid-year, with constantly doing surveys even after a session to get a sense of what has been the impact for that session. Having a suggestion box to listen to hear what your members are need and would like to have, and an annual learning review. That is, you've set your learning plan at the end of the year, review to see did we achieve our objectives, what went wrong, and how can we improve it the next time. And the last is phase one is really to start to conduct, you need to conduct an assessment, a needs assessment, because we cannot assume that all clubs need the same thing. So perhaps you might think, oh, well, we need leadership or we need time management. We need to hear from your members. You need to get that assessment done in the first instance so that you can determine a learning plan for your club. And you can introduce pilot initiatives so that you could see how that pans out. And then you formulate that, evaluate as well, celebrate, important, always celebrate the successes in your club as well. So call to action is, first of all, form a learning committee, because you can't do it all by yourself. Schedule your first peer-led session, and it doesn't have to be you, it could be somebody else from your club. That is engagement as well. Launch a mentorship pilot and begin to your feedback loop as well. Feedback is always important because you want to make sure what you're doing has some impact or effect on your club members. I think that is the fastest that I could have gone. And thank you so much. I will send out our district learning facilitator has the framework. And we will send that out to you in due course.
Thank you, PAG Liz. And already you can have in the chat, you will see the several links with the WhatsApp group, with the survey about the learning survey, and the English Learning Challenge. Also, the link is already open, and you will find it again on the WhatsApp group, no problem, to fill in the several forms, and especially the survey link, which is planned for August. I want also to say to you that there will be the first collaboration event with the membership team of the learning group, and it will be organized through Zoom in August. So we'll give to you more details very quick. So thank you all for being with us this evening. Especially there are our Rotaractors also with us, and I let again our governor for the conclusion. So I will ask if she's okay, DG Soraya, to conclude this meeting. Before I have one question of Barbara, perhaps.
Yes, thank you very much, and good evening, everybody. Barbara Treloff Dean from the Rotary Club of Barbados. Just a quick question, and this may come out a little bit later in terms of documentation that you send out, but how do we track Is it just done through the learning plan updates, or is there an online mechanism where we go in and record, for example, presentations that have been done at our club meeting or anything like that?
Normally, we will exchange it through the WhatsApp group. If you can share the information of your group in the WhatsApp group, it will be for us the better way to know exactly what was done in each club, in fact.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Also, I think the DG has access to that. I think she can see who has done whatever course online on the Learning Center.
Also, yes. DG Soraya, I will just ask. I don't
There's
know.
another hand up. There's a hand up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vanessa.
I think we have time to do
Hi, good evening. Just a quick question. If someone has served in the same position for the previous year and probably has already done the Learning Center course as it relates to that position, do they have to do it again for us to score that on the challenge?
Sometimes the course is updated, so you need to check and see if it's an updated course and then do the part that you would not have done before.
All right, and if it's a case where it's not updated?
Well, that's up to you if you need to
It's
revise.
a good refresher. It's a good refresher.
Refresher.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
There is another question, DLF.
Yeah, who's DLF?
Hi, everyone. It's Tanya. The meeting's going really well. Thank you so much. I wanted to add an additional layer to the question about tracking. So there are going to be some parts that we will be able to track, for example, via the Learning Center. We can download to see who has completed what. We are going to be creating some sort of tracking device as we get further into the year. But for the first few for the first 3 months, we're going to be based on what you submit to us.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya, for this
Just a question here. In one of the group I had, the question is, how does the club learning facilitator would know who from his or her club would have participated and completed the different modules on the Rotary Learning Center? Do we have that information? Can we provide that to them?
When you're finished with a course, you usually download your certificate. And when you download that certificate, you can share it with your club learning facilitator. I think that's one way of keeping track.
Yeah, I think that might be the best way, because you see, I mean, I get a copy of every Monday morning of it, but it is not easy to go through. You would have to file through a whole lot in order to, and then you wouldn't, knowing who is from which club also is a challenge. It's there, but it takes time. So that certificate, I think, is the most efficient way of, of knowing that your club member have done something, is to produce that certificate to the learning facilitator.
Okay.
Agreed.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I'll let our DG Soraya conclude this meeting, very rich meeting for information.
Thank you. Thank you, PAG Shamak. Appreciated. This has been a fantastic orientation session for our club learning facilitators. And I really want to start off by thanking the facilitator team for arranging, leading, initiating, spearheading, and making sure that this happened. Thank you so very much. The key objectives here this evening was to give visibility to the role of the club learning facilitator, to hear from you and to gauge the challenges that you face, which would then inform the support that we provide. Also, to ensure that you understand the value that you add, and that alongside your presidents, you can make that difference and create that culture of learning that we are striving for. But if you have to be effective in the role, and if you have to truly change mindsets, then you have to be proactive and intentional about your learning plans. intentional about orienting new members, intentional about ensuring that members know how to access the Learning Center and can take up the courses vital to their success in their various roles. We at the district are here to support, and we hope that the Learning Challenge introduced helps to incentivize clubs to get them more interested in learning. But this is your call to action, and it is really up to you to embrace all that has been shared here this evening. I encourage you as leaders to lead boldly, and let's work towards becoming the best team of Rotary volunteers. Thank you so very much for sharing this evening with us, and I hand over to our moderator to finally close the session out. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, DG Soraya. Thank you all for being with us this evening so late, but it was, I think, very interesting to hear you and to hear from you about learning and the wonderful job which is done in each club about learning and what will be done next year. So have a nice evening and see us very soon again with the first new meeting of the district learning team, and in collaboration with membership next for the month of August. And I hope you will have a very rich and magnificent year of learning in your several clubs in our district, so we will remain the best district of Rotary. Thank you very much.